Okay. Desktop audio, no. Mic is on. Okay. So yeah, one of the interesting statistics that Tom Haggard does, I think it goes back to the markets and from 1990, and he can look at the S&P 500, red day versus green days, and you'll think that the market has been having way more green days than down days throughout that whole period of time because of how far has gone up. And in reality, they're close to being a 50 and 50%. It's not a 50%, somebody has a lead, but we're talking about a difference of probably 1% or less between the up days and the down days on the market. So I find that very, very interesting because, I mean, since if you were to put a monthly chart on this, boop, boop, right here, we're talking about the 90s, right? From year to year, the market's up a lot, right? We're talking about just for fun, chits and giggles. We're talking about a 11,000%, 11,000%. Um, but the days have been distributed half and half between there and there. So I think that means that the outcome of the day, it's a 50-50 when you're coming into trading. That's what he mentions. But also, he doesn't mention this, but I think that the up days, the days that the market goes up, are way larger than the down days, meaning giving up a more upside than downside on those days, right? So I like that. I like to think like that, right? Um, it says, Subq, what do you think of the weekly SPX chart? It closes on the 21 cents back for bulls, right? So we're gonna walk into that. We're gonna talk about that. First, we're gonna do a little bit of hindsight trading, which is on ES. We're gonna go to the 15-minute chart, try to explain what happened, and with relation to the prior day. So we always want to look at a little bit of prior day to see if prior day action is fuel was fuel for the day next day action. So I had a deeper target in mind to the markets. Right here, I was looking for somewhere around this area for the markets to trade into, but I was looking for that to happen during the cash session. There's a ton of just there's some traders that use a lot of the 200 SMA on the daily for the cash session only, and that was pretty near of it. I think this is it if you haven't if we have done it on the cash session. So we so I had my belief that we were gonna do that on the cash session, like I said, but because you'll hear people talking about it on SPY and whatnot, right? And over here you can see that this is a ES chart. You can see that we basically had a tag of it. If we trade up, this average is gonna move up and it's gonna look like it tagged it perfectly. So a lot of people consider this like the best point to buy the market on a deep pullback. You know, on a deep pullback. There's been countless of times where we see a little bit interaction with it, but to me, I don't know. I don't know. It's just a little point out there. Really, the point is of this is that I was looking for this on the cash market. It didn't happen, so I think that we may do it later on, right? Later on. So I'm gonna put a pinpoint right there that this level is gonna be visited later on. Right now, I have a bullish bias on the market, and that's because of what I see on the daily chart. So today's action, right? We had a little bit of what looked to be a breakdown and rebound to a double, kind of like a base right here on ES. The key part of today was NQ. In fact, those overnight lows are basically a touch of a double bottom on the daily hourly, right there. You see this right here, right, on the daily, this double bottom right here and happen overnight to a cash market bottom, and up we go, right? So that was a key part of what happened today, and obviously technology was the leading market of this price action. So going back to yes, we going back to the hourly, we can see that the market kind of dropped back into the 618. We actually had a short of this area that was due to a fair value gap that we had on the hourly. On the I'm sorry, not on the hourly, on the 15-minute chart. Oops. Yeah. You see this fair value? Oh my God, is it? No, it was this low right here. So it was probably the hourly fair value gap. So we had this fair value gap right here, and we just had the market. We took a short right there, and we got the most of the profits around this area. And I was baited for a second. I thought the market was gonna drop this level since it traded a little bit below, but it was like an instant second. I don't know if you saw this chart right today, right? But it dropped and bounced in the next minute. And next thing we know, it was that 618 respected, and we actually trade up at the 10% extension. So all that is telling me, that this is proper structure to the upside. All that is what you're looking for. The PD arrays for the short side had been negated. This 15-minute candle ended up being the top of this move. This fair value gap right here. That's interesting. That's been covered. That was the best short entry for if you're looking for a rejection. But apart from that, if you go down to the daily, you'll see right here that we're looking into a 2 down 2 up strike reversal. It's nothing very complicated, but I'll show you a little bit of the picture whenever it loads. It's basically when you have a down candle and a candle that only breaks the up down extreme but closes inside the red candle. If the next candle takes out this high, we should aim for this equal high right here. That's the setup on the strat. I don't think that's a good enough information, but that's what we have right there. It's right here, right? 2 down 2 up. Where are you at? 2 down 2 up. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, something like this, right? So entry, target on the break and everything. Very simple. Very simple. It's just a 3 candle setup. Now, I think when I was looking at this market go up right here, I thought we could trade into the daily 20 to then drop. So since that didn't happen, I still think that this extension that we have may be met on the future. This may be met on the future right here. So that's where my aim is. If I'm still gonna place a fib retracement from this high to this low to consider any retracement that we go on the way up to be a possible short entry. You see that we already rejected the 50%. Like I said, if we don't go over this high, it's a turnaround for a new low, right? Especially if it's a 50%. But if we go back to the 618 and if we start trading above it, I'm gonna aim for the 618, and if we go above this, I'm gonna aim for the daily 20, and that will look like a liquidity graph from the prior swing high right here into daily 20 and then drop. So I'm looking too far into the future, but as for the next session, you'll be looking for this. If you want to be a short, you don't want this to be over the 50. If it's over the 50, you want to aim for the 618, and so on. Very basic idea. I think yeah, that's about it. I believe this is a 10% extension. Let me see. It went more than a 10% extension. All right, so that's what we have on ES. Like I say, you would like to see the market punch this level right here. It's gonna be a level. This Monday lows, then the 50% retracement, and whatever the 618 is, you want to put a level right here. You gotta anchor from here to here. Oh, let me put it real quick, guys. 618, and don't forget the 65. It works very well, the 65. And if you start trading above it, then the odds are stacked. Now, I think if you look at this action, which was only a bear flag, a little bit of short covering into a big sell, this can feel a large candle to the upside. This can start some short covering, but I still consider it could be a dead cat bounce. So like I said, I'm bullish for the market. I'm gonna trade it as it goes. I'm gonna see if it stalls or turnarounds at certain places. but I think we can get some more upside into this. We also go into the expected move for SPX. That's important to check. And if you notice, the bottom of two cash session lows are the bottom of the expected move. So it's very important to know that the market's unable to break the due to option big heavy option flow. Right, it's working as the market makers have intended. So we're still inside the realm of that. Next up, we're gonna go back to NQ, and we actually have the same. I mean, same outlook, but a little bit of better odds to go higher, right? The better odds to go higher. And why the odds are higher? Because you have a double bottom. This is in hindsight, right? It was a very good place to long. I actually thought we could poke it a little bit, but that ended up being the best place for longs. And if you anchor the same fibs on the S than on NQ, you'll see that we actually are above the 6.5% retracement. So up to this point, this market is has the odds high to come back to the daily 20, and that will be an increase of, let me see, from this point to this point, 1%, only 1%, 1.05. So I think it's very doable. I think that could be my upside target. Given that we've been short, I also consider that it could go more than this, because it's a very it's been selling, and we're gonna start seeing short covering if we go to the upside. And in short covering is very aggressive, very fast. We also note that we have these fair value gaps on the daily that were all left behind. So every time we encounter the top of the fair value gap, we have to be mindful that it may be a point of a turnaround. And I like that this level is yellow. I don't know why it's yellow. I charted a long time ago, but it gives me confluence with the fair value gap right here. So if we go over the daily 20, this will be like my next area. Probably no more if it doesn't on the next trading session. But like I said, that require for this overnight action to not make a new low, to be around the key areas. I'm actually thinking that I could possibly stay trading the overnight action, because I don't want to run into a tomorrow wake up and be like, oh, I already made the upside move overnight. But yeah, anything can happen. Don't put it on stone. But that's what I see. That's what I see right here. Next up, yeah, that's what I got. Let me answer your question. Oh, where can I get that cheat sheet? Oh, let me. It's this link, which is pretty large, right here. But I can also take a picture. It's for the strat, and the strat has a little more nuances to it. You have to look at time continuity, sector confluence continuity, and the you have to look at the broadened informations, all this stuff. Okay, and if you're wondering what those numbers are, the little guide on the bottom will tell you. So, like I say, I use the strat to find setups on stocks, and it's been working very well. But they had to be in a key area as well. You just cannot see a candle that breaks down or breaks the other side or whatever, and think of it like, oh, it's gonna be it's gonna play out like this, right? So I'll give you an example. I think was it Oxy today? Yeah, Oxy today, right? Like from context that this is placing a massive head and shoulders. I have an inside candle. You break the lows of the candle, it gives you a massive sell. So that's one of the strap setups. But what is it? What is it different from just being anywhere, right? Any other inside candle that you see out, like this one doesn't give you a lot, breaks just a little bit, but like this one, what does it give you, right? It's because we have like this higher lows, massive head and shoulders. Next thing you know, it just breaks lower by a lot. Um, I wanted to touch a little bit of oil chart because we've been trading oil stocks, and I want to see a possible drop into the 618 for me to consider that this could be a long, or maybe it makes a base at the daily 50. But this has been a massive downtrend, so I got a spot for a possible reversal just in case oil goes back to the upside and we can start trading oil stocks to the upside again. The stuff that is being very very oversold, like not like Oxy or XOM. They're sold, but not stuff like DVN. DVN and some other stocks. I believe was it ATA? No, but you get the idea, right? Finding MRO, yeah, finding stuff like that. So the energy sector is not going up with the market. I mean, this is today's candle, and today's market was very very green. You can see right here which one were the underperformers: XLE and XLU. Everything else green, but some of it, I will say, just by a little bit, just uh, just going up in sympathy for the rest. So to answer your question, it has three closes under the 21. Bad for bulls. Let me check. Check SPX weekly. I do go by the weekly 20 EMA. 21 is the same. So when you see a weekly 20 EMA close below, my next aim is usually the next week to be red. After that, yeah, you can argue that the candle that the option has been lost because you see how it held right here. But I mean, you can encounter a deep, it goes down, closes below, next is red, it goes down, trades lower. So given that, I mean, this could be a bounce back point, and there's plenty of points to anchor the fibs, which is starts from here, and you can see we're still dangling around the 6.5, 6.8% retracement. You already went a little bit below, but you see how the today's 618, 6.5, it was almost respected. It was respected actually for a moment. It just broke, give you a false breakdown, and then up we go. So I don't necessarily think that this is a very bad sign. But what I would like to play is whatever can the market bounce into the weekly 20, and then see if it makes a rejection to start making a betting for a leg lower. But that the markets do not come down in a straight line, so they may have a they're gonna have rebounds, right? Rebounds, and this looks like it's setting up for one of those rebounds. Any other question or something to add to the analysis? Something that you see, option flow or something? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find some setups for you guys to trade. It's not a lot of Friday, but if we get this upside move into the daily 20, there's gonna be stocks that will do their short squeeze. So we're gonna go back to the bullish scanner right here. I'm actually gonna make it a little bit small right here. We're gonna try to look at those daily charts and find something with the scanner. Oops, sorry. Right here. We have a bunch of inside candles. So when you look at those inside candles, you wanna see if they are liquid stocks that you wanna trade, and if they are sitting at somewhere important or somewhere key area, right? Not just anywhere. So right off the bat, I can already tell that we're not gonna play ACN. I don't know how AD's Autodesk options are. CDW no, CMG no, CME no, ELV no, Fast no, GW this one no. Okay, so you guys can already tell which one we can play: Adobe, AMET, CRM, cost. Microsoft, one of my favorites, and Nvidia, very liquid stock, and Visa as well. So I'm gonna go with Adobe first. Let's see what we can see right here. So Adobe has an inside candle right here, and it could reject. Like, this is an issue that you could get a trade with a break of an inside candle, but you're meeting the daily 20 right away and could have a rejection. So this is a setup that it is playable. The fact that it makes a higher low after a rejection at the 618 makes you, it goes back up down to the 618 and bounces, gives me the idea this is trying to place a higher low. But I know that there's some resistance right there. We know that we have a daily gap to fill up to here. So what you do in this case scenario is gonna place the levels with the gap on the daily starts here and here. Make sure you go to mark your daily 20 so you don't forget if you're zooming in. I don't have to actually, because I have the daily chart always up besides the intraday charts. But I like how this aligns with this other high, right? So this can work for a scalp, and those are very, very quick, right? But if it goes any further, I will start aiming for a half completion of the gap or the full gap fill. Okay. I am recording this, Remy. So that's what I see. I see this one bottoming at the right place. So we could see we can see the weekly 20 hold, and this weekly candle beating this doji. It means that this doji right here is telling us that the exhaustion is being right here. So this is actually set up for even for 2 to 3 weeks going out to the upside. Or if it's gonna place a lower high to drop, it's gonna do so at a fib retracement from where you're anchored on the chart right here. So if you go down to the daily again, you can see that regardless of you go buying right here and not buying over here, you still have room to the upside, at least to the 32 on the fib perspective, or the 50%, and you see the 50% is almost a gap fill. So I like this one. So we're gonna put Adobe in the list. And on members DD, I'm gonna type it in, guys, for the VIP room. Adobe hold of the weekly 20 EMA, broke prior weekly high, inside candle, and daily gap above. Okay, that's on the list. So next up, we're gonna go to another. This is how I get the setups for today trade every day. This is how I do it. Just know, look at the scanner for strat setups, and then look at them on the chart and be analytic onto them. So we're gonna take a quick look at AMAT. AMAT actually looks very similar, right? A higher low. This is roughly a little bit below, fill out the fair value gap. So this one could go as well. Put in an alert. Did I put an alert on Adobe? Hold on. I didn't. Okay, sometimes I forget. Right? So AMAT. Oops. AMAT. So AMA going back to the weekly. This one went below the weekly 20. So it's not as convincing. It hasn't broke the prior weekly high just by a tiny little bit. It is underneath a ton of fib retracements. So on the weekly perspective, you want to see if it is underneath the last leg lower retracement. And with prior candle on the weekly, we can already tell that this is reversing for a counter trend bounce. I don't like that the 32 retracement is being the top of these candles. You can see right here, but we're coming in for a higher low. So the chances of breaking the 32 retracement on a higher low are high. And we also have a daily gap right here. We also have a daily gap to go from here to here. So we could aim for that. I always put a level in between the gap. And there you have it. and a level on the full gap fill. And I like that the full gap fill is also a 50% retracement. So AMAT goes to the list of possible day trades. Go inside candle. Weekly counter trend bounce. What else can we put? We put 38.2% retracement rejection, but we have a higher low. So that brings the higher low, brings the odds to break that 32 and aim for the 50%. So we could actually aim for AMAT to go to 144. In those case scenarios, once the day trade, the trading session starts tomorrow, I go to my option chain and look at how cheap or expensive the options are. If I can get a 143, if my target is 144, I want to see a 143 option very, very cheap. You can see a large open interest right here. This one, there's quite a bit of a bid and ask spread, so that's no bueno. But we can get some cheap 143s, and if we can make them into an in the money contracts at 144, that's where the money's at, right? That's where the money's at. So we're gonna look at this tomorrow for AMAT. Remy always asks me, how is that you find those big percentage gainers? And it's basically that you look at the chart. Can the daily make it to the target? Okay, can we get a cheap contract out of the money that can go in the money? Right there, so that's what we look for. I'm giving you all the secret sauce, and if you guys want to learn more, join the VIP. I answer any questions, and I should do more of this analysis for the VIP. It's just I don't know if people will show up. What else? What else? Next up on the list. We have our alert. We have our setup. I don't like that it's rejecting the daily 20, but this is when we see, like, if we start seeing a poke of the daily 20, boom, it's a long for me, right? Next up that I would like to see on this chart will be possibly CRM. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is an inside candle, and I can place a trigger for any of the inside candles. Okay, I can see it bounce. It's bouncing at the weekly 50 EMA. So I can see a possible bounce, but this is not a favorite setup. And the reason is because these candles are very, very mild. I don't know if I can make some money. Let's say we get good money right there, So I'm not gonna put it on the list, but it's always good to place the alerts. And if you have an inside candle, you're supposed to place alerts on the upper end and the bottom end. Both of the extremes, because that's how you play them. Break of the string inside on an inside candle, and you play the move outside of it. Next up on the list is our good old friend cost. Let's look at cost. Okay, inside candle coming into a 52-week high. This is not a good setup. Yes, you could break higher. I'll place the alert, whatever. But this is not a good setup for me. We could just reject any part of this wick right here. Right, so I don't see a lot of upside on it, possibly here, but not really. So moving on to the next. If you guys want to stock analyze or something, put it on chat. What ticker is this? Sonny, which one did you ask? I'm putting it on the VIP anyway. You can analyze them yourself as well. That's good practice. LRCX, we have an inside candle. Same idea, higher low. This is actually, I'm seeing a lot of higher lows like this. This is all tech, roughly a little bit below the 618, but another higher low. Well, let me We delete that. A little bit of a higher low right here, and a little bit of a daily gap right here. So this one has the same look. Multiple rejections at the daily 20, but a higher low may bring a break on the daily 20. So we're gonna put an alert right here and see if we can cross that daily 20, and we're also gonna put an alert below. You know, that's why I'm bullish for a counter trend bounce, even if it's just a little dead cat bounce to continue lower, because I see those setups, right? Those higher lows before a push, right? You know, when you're on a downtrend, I'm giving you this little example right here. On a downtrend, you place a higher low, you start making a counter trend bounce. Even if you're gonna go to lower prices later, it's still a counter trend bounce, and you can make money off of that. This analysis is great. Thank you. Appreciate it. MCO, MOA, Microsoft. Microsoft is the next liquid name. I'm gonna put this. Let me type in on the remember the LRCX. Same as above. Oh, similar as the two above. Okay. All right. So Microsoft, we actually nailed on the VIP this down candle. We probably didn't I didn't get the last bit of it at the lows, right? But we nailed this trade, and now it became an inside candle. This is actually strange. The session was very bearish on Microsoft, and now we are basically recovering the wholesale. They're recovering the wholesale. So somebody's mic is open. Ferocious, thank you for muting. And if we go to this, we're gonna place the alerts on both sides. But this is what's important as well, right? The same idea. Everywhere that I look, it's like that meme, right? Everywhere I look, as I see his face. This one went lower. I have this level that is very important, and now we have this. We're rejecting the daily 20, so that's important. We still got to see if it breaks it or not and how far it goes. But the weekly fit perspective, we can already see it right here, right? This is at 32. We start breaking the daily 20. We can head towards the 50% retracement. That aligns with the close to the daily 50 and this candle high. So a little bit of confluence on that level. Right there. Let's look at our weekly real quick. So yeah, we're having this weekly candle exhaustion of the sell side right here. That's kind of why I favor a little bit of a counter trend bounce. So Microsoft as well. Very, very similar. These are all inside candles, but they are happening at key areas. Key reversal points. Going back to the scanner, NVIDIA, PanW, and Visa. Okay, NVIDIA. Inside candle. Oh, this is what the inside candles are made of. Made for. I'm sorry, made for. Basically, if you look at this one, it closed inside the range. The aim for an inside candle is that you're only aiming for the upper end of the outside candle and a break a little bit of above it, right? So you're aiming for something like this on the next trading session if it breaks to the upside. Now I think, yeah. So I think it's possible, and this is what the inside candle is best played at. Whenever you have a big room between the upper end or the lower end, whoever the direction you're looking to take into of the inside candle. So this was a recovery of the daily and 20 and the 50. The EMAs are stacking up, so doesn't indicate a trend at the moment. If we're gonna make a counter trend bounce, do we have room? Let me see. Boom. Boom. So not a lot. This is rejecting below the 50%. So if we do break out the inside candle, I will probably aim only up to the 50% retracement. So this could be if we open higher, we could actually aim for something like this for tomorrow. So uh, NVIDIA, inside candle with room to the upside and room towards the 50% retracement hold of the daily 20 EMA. That's it. That's as much as homework you have to do. And like I say, the target up to here will be 454. So we look at the option chain. If we're gonna make some money with some out of the money calls, 454, 455 calls are 452 and a half are above $1. They're expensive. They always are on Nvidia. It's a $400 stock. So, but this could be the contract to play. Actually, not really. The 450s because you want at least 20 delta right here, but they're not cheap. You know, this is not a play to play on small accounts. Nvidia is for larger accounts. Okay, so next up, Pan W and Visa. It's gonna be the last two. Those are all inside candles, but same outlook as the others, but I don't see a big like a daily gap to fill or something like that. But it just looks the same. It does look the same. I'm not gonna play this one. I don't know how liquid the options are. Neither care to see. Let me see. Yeah, big spread between these two. It doesn't. It has 2.5 numbers. 50% is at around 240. So you like the 237 calls, and if they're too expensive, no, I don't. I wouldn't even put it on the list. It does look like it wants to go up, but not gonna put it on the list. Next up is Visa. So this one does not look like the others, right? This is not tech, so that's why it looks a little bit different. I do see, the inside candle doesn't have, like, if it breaks, doesn't have really a lot of room between this one and the outside candle. There's nothing, right? It's almost relatively equal highs. But I can see a possible candle into a daily 20. That is very, very possible. And I see room towards the fib retracement. So there's two. When you're placing, look, this is a deep, almost relatively equal low right here. So you could call this a double bottom. But if something is in a downtrend, it's gonna do either two things, for consolidation. Because you have two stages, right? The compression, something like this, versus the expansion, something like this. And for something that's overextended, let's say that Visa is gonna go back down to the downside, it may trade sideways until the overextension has been met, and then you have expansion. Or it may trade back for a counter trend bounce to then have expansion. So I'm gonna place a trigger, but I'm not gonna place this one on the list. I'm not gonna place this on the list. I think I could get chopped out off of this one. Like I could get an upside trade, poke this high a little bit, and then boom, put the bet. So I do like Visa options though. They tend to be very, very cheap. Very, very cheap, yeah. And the stock moves in quite a large amounts. They're usually, I feel like the implied volatility on Visa is very, very low usually. And you don't have that widen out spreads. And let's say that let's say hypothetically speaking, this goes by about 235. Just look at this. The 235 calls are around 31 cents to 35, either or from there. So I think that if you can get something in the money of 235 calls, that would be great. That would be great right there. That'll be massive. I mean, those will be massive gains. Because if you look at what is the next strike right now out of the money, 232 and a halves, and the 232 and a halves, we're talking about this level right here, this one right here, and it's already $1. So imagine if we go to, let's say, the same distance from this price to the 232 and a halves, right here, same distance from the 35 target right here, right? You're looking for this contract to be more than $1. More, wait, I'm sorry, 235 is right here. Sorry. So you're looking at this contract to be around 90 something, and then up to here, if we hit target, then you're looking at the contract to be deep in the, sorry, at the money, which will give you the at the money price, which is ends up being, uh, $2 or $1.50 or so. We gotta put it. We gotta put it on the Visa double bottom consolidation at the lows, extended from the daily 20 MA. Possible counter trend bounce. Boom. That is all on the inside candles, and my time is almost gonna be up. So I'm just gonna quick look at this is the other tab that I like to see on this scanner right here. These are the hammer candles on a 2 down 2 up. So basically, the 2 down 2 up, the one that we talk about, just like we had on the market. If you have a hammer on that setup, you're most likely has a high chance of going even higher, right? So let's see, JP Morgan is there. Yeah, let's use JP Morgan as an example. It's a very liquid stock. So we have a 2 down 2 up. We're gonna place the alert about the high. And we're overextended from favorite retracements on the daily 20. So it could be a counter trend bounce right here. So we're gonna look at this for tomorrow with the alert that we have set on. JP Morgan, 2 down, 2 up, strat reversal, extended from the daily 20 MA. And that's about it. Really, that's about it. I don't see that much of hammer candle. Really, so I don't see much on it. What else can we see that we can trade? WBT, zero, no, WBT. This pull. I can already filter out all these stocks that don't have liquid options. They're FedEx, FDX maybe, and Bank of America. That's it. Actually, all the other stocks are not worth trading. Bank of America, similar to JP Morgan, counter trend bounce, can make a little bounce. Remember that, look at this one. It was extended from the daily 20, but you don't get like an immediate bounce, right? This was extended from the daily 20. You don't get an immediate bounce. You get it somewhere later, and then you get the rejection. So you walk into the setups being very cautious that we might not get a lot of upside, but we have on the daily perspective, we're very extended from even the 32 retracement. So I could aim at day trading to that. The options are not they move very nice actually, but you're not gonna get stuff in the money over here. It's very, it doesn't even move $1 a day, right? What was the other one that I looked at? Right here, FedEx. It was FedEx. I'm not sure if FedEx options are good. So I somewhat like this one. You can see that it attempted to fill a gap. It didn't fill it completely, and we're bouncing off of it. So that's bullish. That buyers are coming in before the gap gets filled. Shorts have to get out before that. It's at the daily 20, so really I don't see a lot of setup in this. This is probably a favorite retracement bounce. Yeah. You anchor the lows to the highs, you'll see a 618 bounce right here. But yeah, I'm gonna skip this one, and that's about it. I'm gonna do AMD because somebody mentioned it on the chart. And as any, I think as any other um, tech stock, you are AMD is placing a two down, two up that has already triggered and is looking to be a higher low. So just careful with AMD. It doesn't look like the rest because you see multiple possible higher lows, boom, rejection. Possible higher low, boom, rejection. So this could be the first higher low that makes a higher high. I don't know if you notice right here, but this makes a high, low, equal high, lower, a higher low, but lower high, low, and a deeper low right here. So we have a lower high right here, but this could be the start of a breakout higher. So yeah, I think it can go higher, but I mean, we'll see how much the market can go for on a with the limited upside that we have on futures. Because I think we can hit the daily 20 and whatnot. But yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired. And my technical analysis tends to be I try to look for bearish setups as well. Not like you cannot walk into a day thinking that everything's gonna go up. You cannot walk into a day that everything's gonna go down. We have a bunch of inside candles, and the reason there are on the bearish scanner is because there are on a red month. Um, I mean, they could be bullish as well for all I see. eBay options are good for small accounts. No, it doesn't look good. No setup. And RCL maybe. Let's see RCL. Not really. Not really. I know it's an inside candle, but doesn't mean I don't see it. I don't see it in a very special. This is different, right? The other ones we see that is placing those inside candles on a higher low, with futures analysis with confluence to the upside as well, and not RCL right here. So I don't know. I HD right here. Let's look at Home Depot real quick. Just oops. I'm gonna put an effort to find a bearish setup. Yeah, this is just overextended to the downside. This is what I mean. This is a good example of what I mean. Like, don't put it on stone that you're gonna go meet the daily 20. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you go down to the 4 hour 20, and that's your trend instead. The 4 hour one. You see that? So whenever something is very very strong to one of the directions, it'll go into a smaller time frame, 20 MA. You know, something that is strong, that is stronger than the 4 hour, it'll go down to the 1 hour. Stronger than that, 30 minute, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, and I don't go lower than 5 minutes. There's some very very strong days that you'll see the market only rejecting into the 2 minute, 20 MA. Those are the very hard trend days where you don't get an entry, and it just goes. I think that's about it. Any suggestion? Any chart you want me to look at before I leave? It says ELF broke wing butterfly to the downside. Looks good. I don't know what's a butterfly. I know what's a butterfly spread, but I don't know what the pattern is. Is that a is that harmonic? Be careful with this one because it's inside this candle right here. It's not an inside candle. The is may meet rejection at the lows right there. Yeah, careful on that one. Yeah, I don't know what a broken wing butterfly is. That's a spread. That's an option spread. That's a butterfly with a one leg open. One of the flies. I'm sorry, one of the wings open, and that's why a broken wing. Oh yeah, yeah. So that's what you're talking about with short bias. Oh, you play spreads. Okay, okay, I got you. Can you take a look at Meta real quick? Okay, this is gonna be my last one, guys. Meta. So Meta, we actually try a short today. It worked for, I believe, 40%, and then no more, no more actually. Yeah, let me. Yeah, we actually we went short right here, and then it went gave us 40%, placed a higher low, and start going to the upside. So compared to the other stocks that have a higher low, a counter trend bounce, a recovery, this one looks a little bit messy. It looks very choppy. That's the right word, choppy. I think it's a just a big consolidation underneath the size. If you look to the daily, is very messy, but if you look at the weekly, we can see this higher low being placed and a possible higher high. You know, so I can see Meta going for this high again, right here. I can see it coming into that high again. So just based off of this higher low, it made into a higher low bullish hammer. So it's just that to see I don't know, a daily candle setup, I don't see here. It's gonna be a rough one. Oh man, we're missing out on some futures upside. Could be making some real money right now. Sorry, sorry. This thing is making a new high. Just made a new high. God damn it. Got that 5 minute 20 MA. I may trade this overnight, guys, because I hate to see the market meeting my targets before I even have a chance to freaking trade it. You made 275 off of that bounce, taking off tomorrow off. Oh, you already made your daily target. That was a nice entry, Michael. Nice entry. And that's like I was talking this whole time, and I did see it on my right screen because on my right screen I keep a little chart right here, right? I saw the higher low, the 20 MA, everything right here. So yeah, congratulations. Simple as it gets. Hell yeah. And then also you have I don't know if you do, but the daily bias is up, so that helps. You know, you try to have a daily bias and then find the lower time frames PD arrays. You know, the entries for your trades. And I'm afraid that tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and this thing is gonna be very green. You know, but I'm not gonna swing anything. No positions. No positions swing. I mean, it's a little bit of hindsight trading, my friend. 42 42 35. Uh, yeah, tell me when we hit it, and tell me it could be a possible bottom. If we rally tomorrow, it's gonna be a lot of upside, in my opinion. That's the way the chart's looking like. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. A lot of people show up late, but I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I hope this analysis worked. You have a little bit of watch list for tomorrow, and the way I approach this watch list is that I I'll reconsider the trades in the morning once I see the pre-market, how we did overnight, where are the charts at, everything. Thank you guys, appreciate it. Consider joining the VIP. I have a coupon code for the first month, 50% off. You guys want to join for new members? Just gotta DM me. See you guys later, guys. Cubito out. Oh shit, I forgot to stop recording.